Hello, my name is Zach, and you should be sleeping. We have a bit of a fun file this time around, where I simply get to sit back and hypnotize you with jokes. So whether you want to enjoy yourself, laugh, or simply sit back and experience the ride, I hope you enjoy. Now, if you're ready, what is a hypnosis subject's favorite place? It's a mattress store, because all you hear is sleep, sleep, sleep. There you go. Why do subjects dislike looking at the sky? It's because they have to look up, 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 waking up, up, up. There you go, very good. You know, I wouldn't trust a subject to help me rob a bank. Imagine what would happen when the cops come and they all yell, freeze. Unfreeze. If you find this file entertaining, it's because we hypnotists have such a great sense of humor. I know I laugh every time a subject tells me they can resist. What is a subject's favorite place in the bathroom? The sink. Also the shower, because there's plenty of conditioner. Up, up, up. And why did the chickens cross the road? Because their hypnotist told them to. What is it about being a hypnotist anyway? Sometimes we just want to have a conversation, and next thing we know, people are dropping, falling all the way down. Like how a friend and I went to the movies a few days ago, and we went to one of the nicer theaters that I haven't been to in a while. The usual theater I go to is nice, but the seats aren't half as comfy as the one I went to. The place I went to have these very soft and comfortable recliner chairs. The kind that just feels so full that it's like they're supporting more than your body weight, and you're just able to lay back and vibe in them. Being in that theater reminded me of a third theater nearby, one probably a little more pricey. I haven't been there in a while, but one extremely comfortable, where they have these big leather seats that you can simply lay back in and push the button as the chair lowers itself and stretches out. It's a really soothing experience, especially when the movie isn't playing yet. The lights start to dim and go out, and then you find your mind just relaxing, your focus narrowing on that bright screen. But when the movie's not playing, you don't even have to focus on the screen, so you can let your focus, your mind, your thoughts dissipate as you relax, melting into a nice, relieving experience, taking a deep breath in, not having to think about anything specific, just melting and enjoying the fact that you can have time to yourself, that you can enjoy a nice little preview and sleep. See, it doesn't even matter. I could talk about just about anything, and you could find yourself in trance. It can be so challenging to be a hypnotist in that regard. But on that note of hypnosis, one of my favorite types of subjects are analytical subjects, because some people think they're harder to hypnotize because they overthink a lot. But really, you just have to take those active minds and overwhelm them, guiding their attention until they have no choice but to drop. It's what I call the jingle jingle treatment, like shaking a bunch of keys in front of someone, saying, what's over there, what's over there, what's to your left, what's to your right, what would be to your right if right was down, relax. And some people can be a little shy when going into trance, and they tend to deflect and pretend like it's not affecting them. But if they're actively deflecting, they may not be aware if they're deflecting trance, if they're dropping deeper, or if they're just deflecting my words while deflecting the fact that they aren't really deflecting. Isn't it interesting how one can deflect and comply at the same time, where you could even think that you're not going into trance, but at the same time your unconscious mind is working against you, telling you, signaling to you that you want to go into trance, you want to drop, you want to be hypnotized. Meanwhile, consciously, you're completely aware, completely unaware of the fact that you're hypnotized, and yet you drop, you sink all the way down, you feel even more relaxed, you feel even deeper. Even when you think you're not hypnotized, it's easy to go into relaxation. It's easy to drop and drift and melt. It doesn't matter if you're deflecting, analyzing, waiting for the moment you drop, because hypnosis only gets easier to drop into the more you analyze, the more you anticipate the idea of hypnosis. Thinking about hypnosis only makes you drop deeper, helps you sink deeper, drop further, and melt. And take a deep breath in, because it's nice to go into trance. It's nice to feel yourself coming up a little more and then just plummet, sink down all the way. Nice to melt, nice to drop, nice to relax, even deeper, even further, asleep. It's quite funny. In fact, there's many entertaining things when it comes to hypnosis. From the difference of how someone feels when they're feeling really trancy and receptive versus when they feel more aware. Sometimes when you're more aware, you just feel present and a little unaffected by things, but then almost like a switch being flipped, or even a slider being moved, you start to transition more into that nice, receptive, trancy state. It can happen over time, be it 5 minutes from now, an hour from now, or now. As it happens, you start to feel more trancy, more happy, because why not? You're listening to this file to be hypnotized, so just go into that state that you enjoy feeling. Just allow yourself to sink deep into that state, knowing that you're allowed to relax, allowed to enjoy hypnosis, because, it's really entertaining how not many people get to trance. Not many people get to experience overt hypnosis. And so it's really nice to be able to sleep, to be aware of hypnosis, to drop, take a deep breath in and close your eyes even more, melting, and just sink, letting yourself enjoy this time. The rhythm, the flows, the patterns of my voice, dropping you down, especially if you're used to being hypnotized. Melting, sinking, drifting, just following along, because why not? Because when given the space and time, relaxing can be an easy thing to do. Always easy, always fun and enjoyable to go into trance, like when you and your friends come up with inside jokes just from times you spend around, maybe something funny that someone says or calls back to, and it becomes almost more amusing each and every time you hear it, no matter where you go. Only what if you were in a classroom and you were trying so hard not to laugh, but they kept saying the inside joke? The teacher had their back turned. You tried so hard not to giggle, not to laugh, but the more you try, the harder it becomes not to. The more you try not to laugh, not to giggle, only becomes harder and harder as you feel yourself wanting to chuckle and trying so hard not to chuckle. And it's just one of those awkward moments where you don't want to, but it gets funnier and funnier no matter what happens. In fact, imagine a time where you tried not to laugh at something, and it just kept getting funnier. In fact, imagine a time you or someone else laughed at something that was completely silly, because humans, people, are rationalizing, where some people could be looking at a fly and laughing, and you may ask them why, but it's simply because they made it funny in their mind. What's a time where you just found something so funny? It could have been the silliest thing in the world. You don't even know why you're laughing, but you just find yourself doing it anyways. Now think of the opposite. I'd like you to think of a time where someone was trying so hard to make you laugh, and you wanted to. You almost felt a little bad, but it was like a try to laugh challenge. No matter what they said, what they did, they just couldn't get you to laugh or giggle or chuckle for the life of you. And what would happen if someone else walked in, said one word? They weren't even trying to be funny. They said it very stoically, and yet you found yourself laughing in front of the person who tried to make you laugh, and it just got funnier and funnier. You started laughing because you laughed and didn't expect laughing, and the other person's just looking down like, man, I thought. It could be the inside joke. It could be something silly that you didn't even realize that you thought was funny. Now, it could even be the word bubbles, because bubbles is such a silly word. Especially, and try saying bubbles when angry or upset. It's just a silly word. It's just very hard to let out in anything other than a silly tone. Whenever I say the word bubbles, in fact, you can almost feel those giggles bubbling up. It doesn't have to be in a first reaction. It can just simply be bliss, happiness, feeling so good to the point where if you wanted to, you could giggle and laugh. And the more those bubbles up, maybe you feel that feeling increasing, wanting to just let loose and let go, as if you were just watching a compilation of funny videos or just hanging out with people you really enjoyed. Maybe you have one of those friends that loves dad jokes and they're so bad but they're so good it just bubbles you up, feeling good, bubbly, happy. Every time I say bubbles, you can feel more joyful, more gleeful. Every time I say bubbles, if you want to, you can just let yourself laugh and feel that laugh increasing, intensifying. In fact, and try to fight the urge and watch the bubbles increase inside of you, not being let out just yet. Bubbles. They increase more and more, and then just allow yourself to laugh as the bubbles let out, feeling so good, feeling so great, feeling so happy, as if you just had a really good time either watching something, going out, having a fun time. Just bubbles, bubbles, and bubbles. There you go. Enjoying yourself in this swell time. And thank you for listening, whether you're feeling deep or you're just enjoying the ride. Rest of your day. Now, laughs fade away. If you're still laughing, allow yourself to relax. Take a deep breath in. Let it out and bubbles. Bubbles. Feel it swirling up more and more. There you go, getting stronger and stronger. Then laughs fade away. Very good. Melting, dropping, and drifting. Just imagine a friend coming in, saying a monotone joke to no reaction. And then he just very seriously says, laugh. And causing you to laugh more and more. Bubbles, 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 and then laughs fade away, feeling good, great, happy, and relaxed. Perfect. No thoughts, worries, or cares, just melting more and more. And thank you for listening, and you're allowed to take away any good feelings you felt. Waking up, 1, more awake and aware, feeling good, feeling great, feeling happy and relaxed. 2, there you go, let it out. Bubbles, there you go, wonderful, and last fade away. 3, more aware and awake. 4, coming up more and more. 5, 6, 7, perfect, more aware of your surroundings, more aware of the things around you and the sounds. 7, 8, 9, and 10, waking up, wide awake and excellent. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.